Hi everybody, thanks for coming. I saw that actually the expo is becoming little, people go off to the day-to-day chores. So I thought how many people would come, and I really appreciate you coming. I'm Asaf, I'm the CRO of Datorios. Actually, everybody calls me Pizzer, Pizzzdr, it's mentioned. It's a nickname I got in the army. Served quite a lot of years, I'll talk about it later. As I said, I'm the CRO of Datorios. Datorios is a data pipeline company that bring a new concept and technology to the area of data, and we're trying to change the way actually the concept and the technology that we are dealing with pipelines today, but let's talk about it in a minute. So as I said, I served quite a lot of years in the IDF, in the Israel Defense Force. I served in Unit 8200. It's equivalent of the American NSA or the the British GCHQ, where I have quite many friends. Organizations that are responsible of delivering information, data regarding quite a lot of issues going on related to national security. Most of them are related to terror issues. We were responsible on detecting, warning, and foiling all kind of terror attack throughout all the world. And due to the fact, of course, the essence was that we needed to deal all day, all night with all kind of data sources, data formats, in order to bring the right insight at the right time. And we'll go back to it in a few minutes. In order to do so, the main responsibility of those organizations is actually, first of all, to collect the data, and then to organize it, to handle it in a way that allows to analyze it and generate insights from it for actually any mission that can be delivered, can be decided at the higher level of the nations. As I said, we dealt a lot with terror, but not just with terror attacks, but actually we dealt with almost all kinds of things that you can imagine. Due to that fact, we had to use all kinds of cutting-edge technologies, both from analytic point of view and data transformation, data handling point of view, because our main mission was actually to deliver those insights, to deliver this data at the right time, at the right place, to the right people. And in order to do so in ordinary fashion, actually every day, every minute, we needed those tools to be spot on. I'll tell you a small secret. We had some challenges over then. We have some challenges now. And actually, we tried to do the combination between the challenges then and now in order to try to talk about a different solution. I really would like to delve into some of the stories about how the right data at the right time saved thousands of people throughout the world, and I have quite a lot of those, but I can't. We don't have the time or the security compliance to do so, so I won't go into it. Come afterwards, maybe I'll share some of my stories. I love to tell stories. But what if I can share something else with you is actually my frustration, because when I was at the army, actually I was exposed numerous of times to the problem of data handling. It used to be so that the main problem is the collection of data, how to bring the right data. But as years go by, we understood that the main problem is not about the collection, about the handling of the data. Even when you had the right data, how you handle it in the right time, fast enough, in order to generate the right insight from it. And this frustration grew as we go, and created numerous of occasions that actually inflected our ability to bring the right information at the right time, and to generate the insights for the decision makers to take the decision they need to do the right stuff whenever it's needed, wherever, by the way, all over the world. When we got when we left the army, both Ron and my co-founder and myself, actually we realized that the same problem, the same challenge I've been talking about is lying at the edge of most of the companies. All the companies handling data handling. Everybody wanted to do it much faster, much easier. Everyone wanted to do to affect the data decision process every day, every minute, and they're struggling doing so. So actually, we decided to take our 30 years of experience dealing with data, with these areas, and try to bring a solution to help those companies in their right quest to build data pipelines, and to build it right, and to build it fast. We co-founded Datorios because we know that we need to bring the right data at the right time. It's not just about bringing the data. And due to that fact, we want to bring a new concept and a new technology that allows everybody to do so. You know, the main problem is that now everybody here, I'm sure, agree with me. Of course, this is the problem, this is the age, but most of the companies actually settle with what they have. They say, okay, I have my data, I have my capabilities, I'll do my best, and maybe even the insights will be right. But this is not the right approach to go with. We have the data, so let us bring the right insight. Let us look a little bit into the future. Let's adopt a different approach to the data in order to do these chores in much, much simpler way, in accordance with actually what we need it to be. And of course, I'm going to tell you the secret, how to do it and everything, but a minute before I'm going to do so, I want us to go to a little different place. You know, I live in Tel Aviv, one of the best cities in the world, maybe the most. And actually in Tel Aviv, like I assume in London and any other big city in the world, people start asking themselves, why should I buy a car if the only thing I want to do is actually to go from point A to point B? I wanted to do it smoothly, I want it to be easy, I want it to be nice, but the only thing I want to do is going from point A from point to point B. You know, to buy a car, I don't need to tell you. I pay a lot of money, enormous amount of money, to actually a solution that is not adaptive enough. Because, you know, few years ago, I didn't have any kids, now I have 2 of them. It's not adaptive to the number of kids, it's not adaptive to my needs tomorrow. Maybe I'll move, so maybe I'll need another car. The car that is adaptive. I need to commit. Actually, I commit to a car. I commit to this infrastructure, heavy infrastructure called a car, and I have to go with it until I decide to change it. Of course, to change a car is a really hard decision. The cost, you know, the needs I just talked about, and at last, the maintenance. Oh, to do the maintenance. Everyone that has a car knows what it is to do maintenance to car, to take it to the garage. One of the worst chores they ever created, to take a car to the garage. So why should I buy a car if the only thing I want to do is actually to travel from point A to point B? Especially where such great alternative in the market. I don't need actually to do so anymore. You know, the transportation arena is going through tremendous revolution. Actually, the smart mobility brought us to a place that we can decide which transportation means to use in any day in accordance to our needs. I can use a scooter, I can use my e-bike, I can use a bus, maybe an Uber. I can go on, by the way, for hours about the means of transportation we can use without this car, without the commitment to the heavy infrastructure that I just talked about. And all of those actually would bring me from point A to point B much smoother, even much faster sometimes, and in much less of a cost. Even I, by the way, decided that I would go with the e-bike. And instead of 30 minutes to get to my work in 30 minutes by car, it's actually taking me 10 minutes using my e-bike. it's such a change on my life quality, I have to admit. And after saying that, maybe some of you asking themselves, okay, it's a very nice story, but what's that with Big Data London? So actually, data is just the same. You know, until a few years ago, actually, we didn't have a very complicated data. It wasn't so diverse, and the amount were less than today. There was big then as well. And a lot of companies, actually, what they did, they committed to have infrastructure. They bought all kinds of solution, slow, heavy, expensive, and actually they brought them the solution. But what happened, the data started to change all the time. It changes rapidly. And those infrastructure can cope with it. Actually, they can't do it fast enough. So there are two ways to handle it. Or to give up. Okay, I'll do my insights, I'll do my analytics afterwards. Maybe it won't be relevant anymore, but I'll try. Or to add layer over layer over layer of manpower and other solution in order to try to cope with these ongoing changes in the data sphere. Actually, we need our data in order to do decision making, right? We talked about it. And if I don't have the data in fast enough or at the right time, in the right place, I talked about it, so I can't actually inflect on the decision-making process. So I have a problem. And as I said, it's the same. So maybe if we invested on heavy infrastructure in the past car, maybe we don't need anymore. Maybe we should bring the ideology of the smart mobility into the data arena. What if actually what we do is actually choose whatever you want, whenever you want. Actually, we have a toolkit. The toolkit is a bunch of tools that will enable us to do whatever you want with this transformation, with building data pipelines. It can be complicated, it can be simple, it can be any one of those, but it will get us from point A to point B very easily. Very easily. Fully connectivity for all of those tools together, because you know, in order to use e-scooter, for example, you just need to scan your mobile. That's it. Everything is connected. So why those tools can be connected as well? We should bring the same ideology into the same sphere in order to actually bring much more insights much faster into the data world. A year ago, I wasn't sure it actually can be done. I have to be honest, when we started our journey, I told Ronen it can't be done. It can, we tried, we've been to the army, we dealt with it, it can be done. No, but I think maybe we should look in a different perspective. Maybe it can be done. We gathered in Datorios quite a bunch of people, expert data people, that are actually familiar with the problem. They encountered the challenge in numerous roles, in all kinds of places, not just in the army. And they're very much familiar with all the solutions that exist in the market. And actually, they decided that their mission is to bring the ideology of smart mobility into the data world, to create a situation where we can create a toolkit to everybody to consume in accordance to their requirement without the fuss, without hustle, very simple way to use it. So, we talked about bringing data from point A to point B. In order to do so, you need to vision a modular data toolbox, a modular transformation solution that allows you to adopt it quite easily, and then actually to allow you to transform your data as you want it to be from point A to point B. Something that we talked about connectivity, so it's based on API connectivity with a user-friendly interface, and in a way that actually allows you to lineage your data, to see your data all the way. a solution that will allow the end user to decide what he wants to do. Which of the tools he wants to use in the current day. We talked about the changing challenges, the changing requirements. So why should I commit? He doesn't need to commit to any solution. He just need to decide what tool he wants to activate. And it can be anyone that actually deals with data. It can be engineers building their own with code, or non-engineers, the ones that actually understand what they want to do and what query you want to run on the data set that actually are waiting for to be delivered. No commitment. Hardly no onboarding. One of the things that I'm rapidly hearing, it's how hard it is to bring in a new data infrastructure. Everybody is right. It's very hard. First, because you already have something, and of course, you don't want to change everything. You don't want to abandon anything. But second, and it's much more than that. You want it to be easy, and it's not easy to introduce new infrastructure into your company. But imagine one of the games, Nintendo, Xbox, whatever. Imagine that you need an IT guy in order to bring Xbox into your home. No one would buy it, right? So why wouldn't we do the same? Let's have a solution that is plug and play into our own environment. Let's have it in a modular toolbox, actually, that allows you to pick what of the thing actually you want to activate. You want to filter your data. You want to transfer your data. You want to join your data. You don't have to do everything. You can pick. And if it's packaged in a nice package, in a way that you can consume it easily, with a nice UI that everybody can actually go and use, so let's do it. Let's use any format, any data source, any destination, any kind of transformation easily. Actually, this is what we're doing in Datorios. We've built very, very advanced transformation capabilities that allows you, as a modular toolbox, to do all of those with no string attached, with no commitment. It's actually a very, very advanced alternative for all of those heavy infrastructure. You know, you go outside and you have to buy one of those infrastructure to deal your data. You don't, actually. You can buy just what you need in order to deal with your data. What I mean that actually you can pick. I talked about the toolbox, right? So if you don't need to build all of the pipeline, maybe you just need to transfer the data from one API to another. So why should you build a pipeline? Why should you invest all these resources? Pick a tool that's doing API to API, or doing transformation in one API call, or if you need to combine all kinds of files, CSV, Excel, you can just pick it up and do it without the need of building pipeline, without the need of an IT, without the need of data. You can just do it. But if you do need more advanced, you can actually open the canvas and start painting and start building your pipelines and decide what of the applications, what of the capabilities you want to use. And as I said, you don't have to use everything. Use just what you need in order to do so. And hence, pay in accordance. We believe that you should be the one, our customer should be the one that actually control the cost. You don't have to be afraid what would be the bill at the end of the month. You decide in advance what would be the bill, because, as I said, you pay just on what actually you're using. And we believe that the main thing about the cost is the value. If you don't get any value, you shouldn't pay on anything. You should pay just for the value that actually you're creating from using Datorios. And the implementation is very, very easy. No setup time, hardly any IT requirements, no maintenance. We do all the maintenance. So, you know, I've talked at the beginning about the car. Hey, it's not about the cost. It's very, very adaptive, flexible. It's not about the commitment, and it's not about the maintenance. Hey, I solved all the 4 of them. So we don't have to buy a car, and you don't have to buy heavy infrastructure to deal with your data. You just need to pick one of the tools in order to use it properly. At the end, you understood what Datorios has built in the last few years. And we've been working with quite a lot of companies, with quite a lot of verticals, because data is data. It's the same with everybody. It doesn't matter whether you're an enterprise or a startup, whether you're doing health, manufacturing, or micromobility. Everybody has the same challenges. Everybody looks at the data as the same. And we wanted to create those tools in order to allow everybody to use them in very simple, easy way, plug and play style. Just go grab what you need, use what you need, and pay in accordance. I won't go into more detail because I think I talked enough, but I urge you to ask questions, to come and investigate about the Datorios. You can come to our booth. We will be more than happy to answer any question now. Bring your use cases. We haven't encountered until now any use case that we couldn't bring a solution to. You know, we have one of our customers that actually worked on his solution for 4 months, and we actually brought the solution in 4 hours, for example. And I won't say about the price he paid. I dare you to dare me. Dare me with your challenges, dare me with your use cases. Anytime, any place, we'll be there in order to fix your data, in order to help you on the right quest to build the data pipeline and bring insights from your data. Thank you very much.